Donald Trump is apparently losing it over people talking about Epstein, which before we talk about what Donald Trump is losing it about in this long novel of a post, it's worth seeing some of the reactions. People are saying, we want elite pedos exposed. You promised us that. Cash promised us that, referring to Cash Patel. And Pam Bondi promised us that. Now it's our fault because we want that promise fulfilled and call Pam out every time she lies? What else has she lied about? Here's another one. This is going to cost you so many supporters. Mind you, this is on Truth Social, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is either A, the most loyal audience to Trump on the app leaving comments, or B, the comments are curated, or C, both. So the fact that we're seeing hate towards Trump on his own platform is very rare. This is going to cost you so many supporters, myself being one of them. I have been to multiple rallies and was even there on January 6th. No way, we got a J6er. This is one of the main things that needs fixed. Our two-tiered system of justice needs to end. We, the people, are tired of it. I think this is a way of saying, like, the rich always get away and, people with less money, so basically everybody else doesn't. And we get abused and whatever. All right. They can't be charged with child trafficking without... They can't be charged with child trafficking without there being perpetrators. Alan Dershowitz, who was accused of being one of them, has seen the list, and he went to defend himself. We want the guilty to pay. It appears you or a loved one was in on it, and you want to hide this to go away. Everyone I know is upset with this, and it will kill MAGA, which we all have supported 100%. This is why we don't trust the government. No transparency unless it's something you want us to see, unless it's something you don't want us to see. The little wordy there at the end. But anyway, okay. With all due respect, Mr. President, we voted for change, and a big part of the change was transparency and accountability. We support the president 100%. That still stands, but those kids need justice. Then we've got, we wanted pedophiles to be punished for their crimes. Doesn't make me less of a patriot, but more. I don't understand the reason your current attitude, and frankly, I'm beyond the point of caring. I do care about justice, whether you approve or not. You are losing too many in your base. Have an aide collect what we are saying all over social media. Pam Bondi is not telling us the truth. Her story has changed every time. Sir, you need to listen to us. Are you aware how long and how hard many of us work to get the truth? We refuse to give this a pass. Wow. That's pretty impressive. It's almost every single one. Who is advising you? Bondi lied time and time again. Well, why did Pam string us along with Bindergate, calling it phase 1, and then suggesting the list was sitting on her desk, and then all of a sudden, what desk? Wrong. Release the files. You said yourself, they can't hurt the MAGA movement. Americans care because there needs to be accountability. If there's no crime, why is Maxwell doing time? Mr. President, you did make the promise, just saying. I hear you, but we are not talking about a stolen election, robbery, or fraud. We are talking about children. Ooh. So, take a look at Trump's post. What's going on with my boys and, in some cases, gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it, all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. That's like that song. What's that song? It's like, you die twice. The first time is whatever, when you die, and the second time is the last time somebody mentions your name. I can't remember what that's from, but that it feels like what he's saying over here. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration? It's actually quite interesting because if he's suggesting the files are written by Obama and Hillary and basically crooked people, it somewhat implies that they wrote Trump into it. And that's probably why Trump doesn't want these files released, because they just have to redact a lot of it to protect basically a lot of people in the Trump admin. You know, I mean, it's obvious this person was a DC insider and you know, socialite or whatever you want to call it. They somehow weaseled their way in around old big names in politics, or even just wealthy people not in politics. It's crazy. But anyway, let's see, and then gets into Russia hoax, laptop from hell. They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. You're basically blaming MAGA folks for enhancing exactly what Hillary Clinton wants. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? And he's basically suggesting, why didn't they release it? Well, probably because they're in it too. All right. They haven't even given up on JFK or MLK files, no matter how much success we have securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. It is never enough for these people. We are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in 100 years. I don't think any other administration has lasted or existed 100 years, but okay, I mean, I see where you're going here. And we have so much more to do. We are saving our country, making America great again. We'll continue to complete, and this will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Radical left-inspired documents. More and more, it sounds like Trump's name is just all over this. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she is looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead, and it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way. Not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Wow. Well, there's sort of Donald Trump's POV on the Epstein files, and you know, I hate to say it, but the more he protests about how crazy it is that people are asking about the Epstein file, the more it seems like he's in the Epstein files. Which, remember, that is, after all, what Elon Musk suggested. Elon Musk suggested Trump is in the Epstein files. That's why he doesn't want to release the Epstein files. But it is something where, you know, I do wonder, like, if politicians make promises all the time, and it just seems to be that they get to sort of selectively choose which promises they get to fulfill, and it just doesn't seem like it's ever going to change. Here's somebody on X who writes, I'm going to post this every day so nobody forgets exactly who Donald Trump is and why Epstein files have suddenly disappeared. And here you go. Trump, Epstein, Trump, Epstein, Trump, Epstein. I mean, those are multiple photos from the same area. Trump, Maxwell. You've got Trump with many other characters over here. Epstein, Maxwell, Maxwell again, sitting together. Here they are literally right next to each other with Trump's hand on his shoulder. Well, I guess maybe this could be a contributor to why. You know, and I remember this too. This kind of, like, I remember rolling my eyes at this because I thought, wow. So the people who get invited to the White House, you know, because the White House released or opened up this social media influencer portal where they basically said, hey, if you're an influencer, why don't you apply and we'll let you come to the White House press briefing room and ask a question of, you know, the press secretary, or we'll involve you in other things like this. And I remember thinking to myself, before they picked anyone for this, I remember telling myself the only people who are actually going to get in on this are going to be right-wing shills. And look, there are left-wing shills too, right? I just find myself, I'm nobody's shill. I just sit in the middle. The goal is for everybody to hate me. So, but I look at this and I'm like, it's just going to be right-wing shills. And you're not actually going to get any criticism. And sure enough, that's what you got. I mean, to me, it's somewhat embarrassing to be related to this. And fortunately, we're not. But look, now even Maxwell's trending on X today. Hey, Elon Musk, you could accelerate progress on Epstein Maxwell by unlocking Maxwell's old account. Ooh, interesting. Nobody's going to shut up about Epstein. Why is Maxwell in prison if there are no clients? Let's see here. More than 1,000 girls and women were abused and trafficked by Epstein, but only one is in jail for their abuse. And then, of course, it just seems like people are posting consistent pictures of Trump with them. Trump is the swamp. You know, if Fox News is kind of running defense for him this morning, but then again, he usually does that. There's actually, or Fox News usually does that, but I think that's because of basically, well, money. You know, Fox News gets a lot of money knowing that they're speaking directly to a MAGA audience, but also directly to Donald Trump. Take a look at this Financial Times piece this morning. Advertisers flock to Fox, seeking an audience of one, Donald Trump. Political ads drive booming sales revenues at the network on the back of record audience numbers. Advertisers have flocked to Fox News, seeking an audience of one, according to the network's head of sales, as companies, advocacy groups, and foreign leaders try to lobby President Trump through his television screen. People know that Trump sits there and listens to Fox News every day, as he basically always has. I guess if you now advertise or somehow get in cahoots with Fox, you're basically able to speak directly to Trump. This has led to a record boom in advertising revenues this year on the back of record audience numbers, backed by an unprecedented boost from political advertising. This is why it's no surprise that you've got, so many Trump-related folks, not only at Fox News, but also in the Trump White House. So the more Fox News anchors kind of shill Trump, the more there's a chance these anchors end up getting hired by the Trump administration. But then also vice versa. Like, remember Kayleigh McEnany from Trump Press Secretary 1 is, now at Fox. Oh, is it a surprise that Lara Trump is now, has her own show called My View with Lara Trump on the Fox News channel? No, of course not. They're basically one and the same at this point. But anyway, it's almost like official state-sponsored propaganda. But, then you could say the same thing about CNN, about the opposite direction, although they don't hold the cards. Not now, at least. But anyway, backed by an unprecedented boost from political advertising, while this typically falls away after an election, Fox has found that political and advocacy advertising increased as groups seek influence in the White House. News has always attracted advertisers that are trying to reach influential folks, but I think a lot of folks are aware that the president and a lot of the folks in his administration are watching the Fox News network. Yep. We're seeing a lot of advertiser demand that's coming in for an audience, whether that's an audience of 1 or an audience of 12. We're seeing quite a bit of demand for that. This is incredible. We're seeing a lot of advertiser demand coming in for, we said, Trump is known to be a regular viewer of Fox, which also serves as a conveyor belt for people entering his administration. Oh, there you go. Exactly. The counter hiring, right? Fox has Trump's ear in big policy decisions. When J.P. Morgan Jamie Dimon appeared on a Maria's Fox show in April, warning that the Trump tariffs would trigger a recession, it caught the president's attention. Yep, I remember that Jamie Dimon day. That was the day of the taco began. Trump mentioned the interview several times that day in public appearances and posted about it on Truth Social, later announcing the 90-day pause. There's so many issues that are up for debate. We've seen political advertising and advocacy advertising. But one would assume that it would be the president as well as the circle of advisors that are forming policy. Let's see here. Other groups have recently aired advertisements, include the Department of Homeland Security, American Eagle Project, Clean Lobbying Group to Protect Our Jobs, American Israel Public Affairs, Coalition to Strengthen American Healthcare. Fox News has been the most watched TV channel in the summer, averaging more than 3 million viewers during prime time, 8 to 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. You're seeing advertisers that are coming on in because of overall strength of these audiences. The network is closing its latest upfronts with advertiser commits of billions of dollars in annual spending for TV. Wow. Heading into this year up front was a bit of uncertainty that the threat of tariffs could impact advertisers' willingness to spend money. We see no impact of that right now. All indicators are that this is going to be very strong for Fox. It's pretty incredible. I mean, good for them. It shows there's money in shilling one side, you know? Fox News executive Murdoch has touted an influx of blue chip advertisers to Fox in recent months. Amazon, Netflix, JP Morgan. Because of the election results, many advertisers have sort of rethought their positioning in this country and understand that Fox News viewer really does represent middle America. Yeah, no. I don't think so. It represents mostly the MAGA movement that is dictated by Trump. Because it's not going to take a critical view on the Epstein files because that's not what Trump wants. So it's going to take a defense of Trump approach. So you kind of have to see. It's like, are they representing Trump's interests or are they representing that middle America interest? Well, if they were representing the middle America interest, they'd be promoting the release of the Epstein files, which they're not. But, you know, that's the way it works these days. It's kind of interesting, you know? Let's see. What else do we have here? We have Mike Flynn says, real Donald Trump, please understand the Epstein affair is not going away. I don't think Trump really cares if Flynn is saying this. DOJ and FBI said in a joint memo obtained by Fox News that the two agencies had no further information to share with the public about the Epstein case and death. And now the FBI director is threatening to resign over Bondi's lack of transparency. Basically, if she stays, I'm going style threats. People make their own choices and decisions, but mark my word, the lack of actual results at the DOJ and lack of transparency translates into incompetence and will cost the GOP House and Senate votes. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.